Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another of my not streaming videos, but I'm going to record it like I am streaming. I say as I bite my tongue. So, this is going to be another tutorial video. The last one was on gun lance, this one's going to be on bow. So, first I'll explain how bow works. There are 3 different types of bows: rapid, pierce, and spread. It will tell you what type of arrow it is on the first page, and it changes with level. So the current bow I'm using has 3 charge levels and an unlockable 4th one, but I don't actually have the skill to unlock the 4th one, so ignore the 4th one that's grayed out. So this bow is effectively all pierce. Every bow has a set amount of coatings you can bring, which will change how your arrows work, basically. And you can do those by clicking over to the 3rd page. So this one can do close range coatings, which every bow can use. Power coatings, which will increase your damage. Poison plus, which will do heavy poison. Paralysis, which will paralyze. And sleep plus, which will put them to sleep easier. The other 2 are blast and exhaust, which this bow cannot use. So, how bows work is there's something called critical distance. Critical distance affects how much damage your arrows will do when fired from a certain range. So, for example, pierce are mid to long range. Spread fires, I think, 3 to 5, depending on the type, arrows in a horizontal line, and it's best used from short range, which is about a short hop away. Rapid fires multiple arrows in a straight line, and it's best used from about this distance. Pierce fires a single arrow that will hit multiple times as it passes through, and it's best used from this distance. If you're curious what your bow's critical distance is, when you go into the aiming mode, it will actually tell you with the reticle. So 1 circle like this, that's not in critical distance. But when it goes to 2 circles like that, that means you are in critical distance. You want to be in critical distance. So you can see just how far Pierce's critical distance actually goes here. Like, up until about right here is all critical distance for a Pierce arrow. So you can actually hang out and do a lot of damage. But since the arrow travels through the monster, you might hit with critical distance with the first arrow, but not with the first impact, but not the last one. So, how bow works is you can either just press the button once to shoot, like that, or you can press it multiple times, and each time you press it will release a higher tiered charge shot. Alternatively, you can just hold it to keep charging, and your bow will change colors as it goes. Just pressing and releasing is a 1 charge. Holding until it turns red is a... Holding until it turns red is a 2 charge, and once it turns yellow like this, that's a 3 charge. Alternatively, there's the power volley, which I've done a couple times here, which is you fire once, and then you press the A button, and you can do that twice in a row. That's actually a change in Rise, and you could do that with Valor style in Generations, but in World it was only once, and then the second one would fire your volley. So, the volley in Rise has changed from the little raindrops to a sort of buff, and which buff you have changes with which bow you're using. So this one, it says the arc shot is affinity, so you hold it, you go into a charge, and then you just hold A, and then you can drop the affinity, and as you can see, it creates a little rainfall, and if you go through it, you'll get an affinity boost. Pretty self-explanatory. It's not the hugest difference in the world, but it can be helpful. So I'll show you. I can't really show you against this the effects of different coatings, because it's just a mecha Tetronodon. I can pronounce that fucking term, I promise. Alright, for silk binds, you have... So with... First, your silk binds are affected with the R button, not the regular one. Because if you hold the regular aim button, it just goes into aiming for your bow. So, you have to hold the R button, and the first one is a straight up jump like that. And the second one requires 2. So I have to wait for it to refill here. The one that's a straight up jump is really nice to get mounts, because it's really the only aerial attack that bow gets. And it can actually be used to dodge attacks fairly reasonably. The other one is this, which will double the effectiveness of whatever coating you've got equipped, as well as just giving you a bit extra damage. So like if you put sleep coating on this, you'll usually get at least one, well definitely one, but probably 2 sleeps out of each one you fire with this. You will notice that I do different damage depending on where I shoot this thing, like its feet does 3, its neck does about 35. So you do want to make sure you're actually shooting where the damage is best. Typically that is the head when it comes to monsters with bow. You can actually check for each individual monster. For example, Great Izuchi, if you go over here to where is it? Physiology, then you'll actually see, for example, head is 75 with ammo. Torso is 40, forelegs are 55, tail is 35, and tail tip is 75. So if I shoot it in the head or the tail, I'll be doing the most damage. So yeah, that's just an example of how that works. I'll go more into detail with that when I get to the longsword and dual blades tutorial, since those are actually more about positioning. But first, I will mention the or the switch skills that I have. So there's 2 here, the power shot and absolute power shot. This one is weaker, but you can do it more often. This one is stronger and can stun, but takes a significant amount more of your stamina to use. Sometimes the gyro aiming on this like drifts off to the side, and I don't really understand it. See, like, it's doing that on purpose. I'm not really sure why. But unlike Splatoon 2, there isn't really a way to, like, recenter it, so sometimes you just have to get used to it. Okay. So you can see the little sparks that come up. That means I'm doing stun damage. But if you also look at the stamina bar, I'm using basically as much as I'm recovering. So yeah, you want to be careful about that, because the absolute power revolver will definitely screw. And there you can actually see I got a KO, which is something normally only blunt weapons can do. So that is actually a useful one you can equip. The other ones are the dodge bolt and the charging sidestep. The charging sidestep is the exact same one that's in Monster Hunter World, where if you can just like slide around. Shoot an arrow, slide, get an extra charge, shoot an arrow, slide. There is a bit of a delay though, from when you press it to when you actually start moving, and you don't have invincibility frames. So you do want to be careful about that. However, there's a good chance you'll never use this because the dodge bolt is probably the most broken thing bow can use. So, dodge bolt is a dodge, but it's not as long. And it won't give you the instant charge. Well, it does, it's just not a huge one. But when you flash blue, that's actually a guard point. So, you can... Oh, it also cuts off tails. So, like, you can do this to, like, go through attacks, to get through screams, to break, or to sever tails that come at you. It's fucking wonderful, and it's instant. Like, the second you press the button, you move, as long as you're not stuck in, like, an animation or ending lag. So, you can just do that and fucking break shit. Also, whatever coating you have equipped will affect that. So, like, if I go up here with the poison coating, you'll see that I am actually doing poison damage when I slap this thing. It's not all... Oh, or no, I'm not, because I don't have a clip. There we go. There you go. You see the little purple bubbles? That means it's actually doing poison damage. So, in theory, I could do this until this thing is poisoned. Granted, I don't even know if you can poison this thing. It doesn't look like I can, because normally this is poison plus. That was normally poison. Oh, yeah, okay, it is poison. But, yeah. So it looks like it doesn't do quite as much, but it can be an easy way to get extra coating damage off of a monster. Oh, I got another KO. So yeah, that one is really good. And now for the silk binds, the switch one here is focus shot, which I really don't like the name of because it's super misleading. It's not actually an arrow you fire. What it is a backwards evade, and then you go into this crouch here. And I'm going to try and showcase what you actually use this for, but it's a little hard because the current set I have actually negates a lot of stamina use, so... Alright, so basically, when you do this, when you crouch down, see how it like instantly filled? That's because I have a fucking stamina set right now, but normally, what that does will rapidly refill your stamina, but you don't get any invincibility frames from it. So you have to like aim which way you're trying to evade before the monster starts coming at you, and you can do that to get out of the way and quickly restore your stamina. I'm personally not a huge fan of that skill, if I'm being completely honest, but it does have its uses. And I will show you the two sets that I have for my bow, because they're sort of similar but sort of different. So this is my default set for bow, and what this one looks like is like this. Normally I have a layered armor over it, but unfortunately you can't do layered armor per item, which is infuriating. But, so this skills, that's English. These skills are, do I have to do it from the status menu? That's anyway. Yeah, I do, okay. So, spare shot is probably the best bow skill in the game. If you can max this out, you'll be saving a lot of time on coatings. Because, well, in this one in World, you can go back to camp to restock. If you're playing multiplayer, that's kind of seen as a dick move to do, especially if everybody else is still off hunting the monster. You can craft more if you bring the materials, but that's also taking up slots in your inventory. Constitution reduces fixed stamina depletion, so like, every time you fire your bow, that's a fixed amount of stamina that you're going to lose. You can use this to reduce that. Basically just means you're going to shoot more. Ignore razor sharp, because that's basically just sharp or spare shot for swords. It's not terribly important for the one I'm using, but you can see they came built into the headgear, which is the channeler set. Poison attack I have for this bow specifically because I already have poison plus on it, so that just makes the poison even better. Agitator will activate when a monster is enraged. It's just really nice to have. Pierce up increases piercing damage. Spread up you can ignore because I don't have spread on this. Evade window is more useful for like dodging than the dodge bolt, but it will help out a little bit. Fire resistance is just good for resisting fire. Muck resistance helps you go through like mud and snow and stuff like that. Bombardier will increase your explosions, and I'll get to that in a minute. Fortify is just nice as a sort of insurance. Every time you cart, you'll be stronger basically the next time. And flinch free just helps if you're fighting people with like long swords and shit. Carving Pro, that one is just a good one to have. Hunger Res will reduce the time before your stamina cap goes down, so that's really handy. And then Wire Bug Whisper just helps to get that extra Wire Bug, because if you can have 3 Wire Bugs with bow, you'll be set, because you can basically always keep the enhanced state while still having your oh shit button. So that's what this set is. And then the other one I just made is the Rachna set, and it's a full set. And this one is actually more built for spread shot bows, but it can still be useful. So for this one, I have Constitution +5. That's honestly more than you need, but... Whoops, that's... There. Honestly, it caps out at 3. The reason why it's 5 is because I have it set on a talisman as well. I'm trying to get a spare shot talisman, because unfortunately that's not a decoration. So, but that's like a 10% chance to activate, so I'm still farming those. I have Poison Attack +3, which is maxed out, so that really makes good bow for poison. Stamina Surge is the reason why my stamina was like refilling instantly. I have that maxed up. Spread, again, that's just built into the Rachna set. It'll make it so if you're using a spread type bow, it'll be really good. Personally, my favorite arrow type is Pierce, and my least favorite is Spread. But if you're using a spread, then it's a good one to have. Reload speed will automatically load bow coatings if you get it to level 2, as well as improve the handling of your bow, so there's less like movement when you're aiming. And the automatically loads bow coatings mean you don't have to like slap the bow every time you go to equip or unequip one. It's not a terrible difference, but it makes it nice. Marathon Runner and Muck Resist I had on the last one. Item Prolonger is really good because Mega Dash Juice is like broken for bow, even if it was nerfed in World and Rise. But basically, if you combine Stamina Surge, Constitution, Item Prolonger with Dash Juice, you'll basically have max stamina all the time. Fortify again, just good to have, and Hunger Res to decrease your stamina depletion. So, it really just depends on if you want to go for maximum stamina so you can keep shooting, or if you want to go for coating amount so you don't have to refill as often. So I'm just going to do a quick hunt.
How are you today?
That's loud. So I'm just going to do a quick hunt to sort of showcase good bow potential. I'm using Pierce arrows, so I'm going to do Basarios because he's a nice chunky boy. I recommend having an item loadout that has all your coatings and shit in it. As well, bring bombs if you have sleep ammo, because holy shit, sleep bombing is broken. If you hunt with a bunch of randos, there's a pretty good chance they're gonna attack the monster and wake it up, unless you find some way to actually tell them about it. But it can still just be really... It can make things a lot easier for people if they know about it. I recommend this one, Dango Pyro, if you can get it, because it'll freely upgrade your large barrel bombs to mega bomb barrels. Normally you can only carry 2 of those, but you can carry 3 large barrel bombs. So this skill will basically give you 6, or no, 5. They'll give you, I'm good at math, will give you 5 mega bomb barrels for free, basically. Marksman increases the power of shots and arrows, it's just really good to have. And then Fighter will further reduce your stamina depletion. So, like, yeah, you can basically make it so you lose no stamina on a hunt if you optimize it correctly. Also, I just love the Rachna outfit. I really don't like fighting her, but the outfit is amazing. I'm actually not going to go spirit bird hunting. Is it raining? It is, that's why it's... Sorry if you guys can hear thunder outside. I just realized that it's a fucking storm out there. I had to have just started. Alright. But as I was saying, I'm not going to go spirit bird hunting unless they're directly in front of me. If they're directly in front of me, then I'll pick them up. But I'm going to sort of showcase what Bo can do just out the gate. Granted, this is a low-rank monster and I'm using a high-rank weapon, so it's not a perfect comparison. But there is not a low-rank version of Rachna, so in order to get this set, you kind of already have to be at the end of the high rank, because it's one of the last monsters you hunt in the game. Looks like he's underground, so we're going this way. I really do love all the new locales. I think one of my only real... God damn it. I think my only real complaint about this game is... Well, the locales in this game, is you can't search for small monsters in the detailed map. And that can make farming certain monsters really fucking annoying. Like, I remember for this, the bow I'm currently using, I had to farm a whole bunch of the, high rank... what the fuck are they called? The little... bug fuckers. What are they? I can never remember. Small life. Ultranauts. These guys. I had to farm like 100 of those because I needed quality stomachs and I was having the worst freaking luck in the universe. Okay, it wasn't 100, but it was a lot. It took like 4 hours. And I kept going to the places that I remembered seeing them, just like running around, and they weren't there. And it was so freaking annoying. Because, like, they're kind of just set dressing. You don't really think about it when you're in a hunt and you see one, but then when you actually need one, they're never fucking there. Alright, there's the. So you always want to have your power coating first, because that'll just increase the amount of damage you do overall. Is it leaving the area? That's probably... Like, my character probably said it's running somewhere else, and then I said that. My TV's muted right now, because my audio was being really fucking finicky and annoying. I tried recording this video like 18 times, so also if you can hear shit that normally you would not hear, that's why. Where the fuck are you going, bro? Oh, you're doing that attack. Once again, you kind of do want to aim for the head when you're using a bow. I already broke a part, but again, I'm using high rank shit, so... You always want to make sure you're in the power up state with bow. If you have two free bugs, and you notice you don't have the glow on your arm, just go ahead and pop it. It really makes a huge difference. Okay, yeah, you guys can probably do it now. I might have just fucked myself by doing that, because I'm doing the fucking Shovel Knight spin. I do think it's amusing that they gave him one of Shovel Knight's attacks, because I don't remember him being able to do that in other games. That's a beam. Ooh, yeah. You can actually counter the beam, and if you do it right, it'll send you up to the maximum charge. Didn't have to do that. You fucking shot it into the wall. Yeah, wow. You're not very smart, are you, Cyrus? Okay, that might be your shoot. Hope you can see I actually got his leg with that when I spun by. But yeah, if you guys look at my stamina, I've barely, like, lost any stamina at all, and what I do lose, recharge is fucking easy. But you can also see that I'm out of the power codes. So now I will switch to sleep. Oh, he's actually ready to capture. So he might die before I get to show it off. But I will now switch to the sleep colors to try and showcase sleep bombing here. Is he going to sleep? Going to sleep. I can't really tell because, again, my TV is muted, but a good way to show that a monster has gone to sleep is the music will stop playing.
How about a good night kiss? Put down a bomb.
Did it not freely upgrade it? That's fine. Anyway. You always want to use your strongest attack when you wake up, and you want to aim for the bombs. If there's a greatsword user or like a hammer, let them get a free charge off of it. Basically, whoever in your group has the strongest single hit attack is the one that should do that.
Don't mind me.
But sleep bombing can be insane, especially if you have a group of 4 people doing it, because everybody can drop 2 bombs. And you'll get the bonus for attacking a monster who's asleep with bombs. In Generations Ultimate, I went from the level 1 Hellblade Gladness to the EX in one sitting. It took like 3 hours. Or no, it would have been longer than that. It would have been like 6 hours because each hunt was like an hour long. But we went from 1 to EX in one sitting with a group of randos, and all 4 of us were using gunner weapons. There was 2 bows and 2 heavy bow gunners, if I remember correctly. All of us with sleep ammo, and we just put that fucker to sleep and blew him up over and over and over again, and it was the most glorious thing in the universe.
Good job, buddy.
But yeah, that is a rough and quick tutorial for how to use bows, specifically how to use piercing bows, because it's the one I'm most familiar with. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.